What's up, YouTubers? This is your boy Big Metro Fan 12 coming to you with another video. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the Thing prequel. Now, the Thing prequel pretty much came out in October 2011, but this movie was panned by movie critics and moviegoers because of a lot of flaws that exist within the movie. Things like a character development, the poor CGI, which is like pretty much the biggest offender, and you have a lot of continuity problems and everything. And because of that, this particular movie bombed and everything. Now, pretty much, the Theme prequel was a movie that was pretty much could have been good, but it was poorly executed. As you know what I'm saying, because the flaws are just pretty much you cannot ignore it and stuff. Now, I can honestly say that there was enough material from John Carpenter's thing, especially like the first 30 minutes, that would warrant a prequel and everything, even though a lot of people didn't like technically ask for it and everything. Now, pretty much, the flaws in the theme prequel can be put in four categories. At least I've done it, and it has to do with the first one being the continuity problem. The second one would be the lack of character development. The third one is the CGI, and pretty much the fourth one is the lack of suspense and everything. Now, as far as the continuity problems are concerned, there are a lot of continuity problems. There's enough of them, I should say, you know what I'm saying, in terms of the continuity problem, especially if you watched John Carpenter the thing first, then the prequel and everything, you would like notice them right off the bat, especially if you're like a fan and everything of John Carpenter and thing. But like one of pretty much the biggest continuity problems is connected to the fact that the prequel don't have the Norwegians planting thermite charges to uncover the spaceship. The reason I bring this up is because if you watch John Carpenter's thing, there's a scene where like Blair, Bennings, McCready, Gary, and Norris was watching videos of Norwegians where the spaceship crashed, and the Norwegians pretty much planted thermite charges where the spaceship was to uncover it. And I think it was Norris the one who pointed that out and everything. And if that's the case, so you can mention it in the comment section of the video. The reason why I bring this up is that I understand that in the DVD commentary track of the thing prequel, the director, I think his name Matthias Heineken Jr., pretty much said he didn't believe that it it warrant the he didn't think it was plausible for that much thermite to be used. My response is it doesn't matter what your um what you believe about that scene. It's just that it was firmly established that in John Carpenter the thing that the Norwegians used thermite charges to uncover the spaceship, and they ended up damaging it as a result. Which brings me to another continuity problem that's related to it is that in the prequel, uh, the uh, the spaceship ended up starting up again, which is a big time problem for two specific reasons. The first one goes back to the fact that the Norwegians used thermite charges to uncover it, and when they tried to uncover it using the thermite charges, they pretty much accidentally damaged it to the point that it wasn't functioning no more. And because of that, you have really like no reason to have the spaceship starting up again at all. You know what I'm saying? Then there's the fact that uh, the black creature ended up building a smaller spaceship to try to get out of Antarctica at the end of John Carpenter's The Thing, because the creature knew that the spaceship that it crawled out of, this wasn't working either because of the fact that it was in the spaceship was buried under the ice for 100,000 years, and with the combination of the thermite charging damaging it and everything. So there's no reason for the spaceship to even start up again. So there was no reason for these two continuity problems to even exist and everything. Now, another thing that is worth noting is that that of course there's other continuity problems that exist within the movie. Like one that I brought up is the fact that um that the alien was able to change it to a husky without the Norwegians having a team of huskies. Even though there's a pet dog in the movie that's not a husky at all. So I don't know why they didn't include any huskies in the film. So it would have made sense to me to have those huskies in the movie to explain how the thing was able to change to a husky to begin with. Now the other category will be pretty much the lack of character development that exists in the thing prequel. It's like one thing that's in John Carpenter's thing is that you have like characters that's played by actors like Winford Brimley, Kurt Russell, and Keith David and stuff. Now, one thing about it is that if you showed a picture of the cast of John Carpenter the thing, a lot of the fans of John Carpenter the thing will point out the actor and the character they played, and that's the reason behind that is because of the fact that Bill Lancaster pretty much built character development when he wrote the script and everything. While getting down to the plot of the movie, while they're trying to find out who's human and who's an imitation. Now contrast that to pretty much the prequel and everything. You really get to know three characters. Uh, out of 14 characters, you get to know three, and even then, the development for those three are pretty bare bones. And I'm referring to Kate Lloyd, who was played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Joel Edgerton's character, and the one character, Dr. Sanders, and stuff like that, who was the head guy. And everybody else was either just killed off by an alien or they just got imitated and stuff like that at some point before the third act. So, I'll say before the final scene. So why why didn't they spend any time building character development for these characters in the prequel? Is beyond me. It seemed like these characters in the prequel were just shoehorned in and everything. Now, as far as the CGI is concerned, it was pretty much unnecessary in my opinion, due to the fact that the company amalgamated ADI. I would like to say amalgamate. I'm just getting tongue tied right now, but it's the one company ADI that did like practical effects for Tremors and other movies like that. The, the practical effects that they put together were practically done, but Universal decided at the last second to paint them all with CGI, which made no sense whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? You they ballooned the budget for this movie when they had pretty much no reason to do it. You know what I'm saying? On top of that, those creatures just look so fake because they put so much bright light on them. They just killed the mystery and the suspense as a result. Now you compare that to to the practical effects that were done on John Carpenter's thing by Rob Bottin and Stan Winston, they look great. Not only for two reasons. One, you had the fact that Rob Bottin had a straight up like original imagination and everything. Then you have the great lighting that Dean Cooney put together. So it the effects with John Carpenter's thing was it was spectacular, and it was like a gold standard for practical effects in horror movies and stuff. So there was my thing is that there was no reason for them to add CGI to the creatures in the theme prequel. You know what I'm saying? When the practical effects were done, you know. Then there's the lack of suspense, and this is connected to the first two things that I mentioned: lack of character development and and the CGI. Why do I mention the CGI? I already mentioned the CGI, but the lack of character development has a connection to the paranoia that they could have had and everything, and pretty much because of those two things, it created kind of like a um poor like a suspense and everything. One of the things that John Carpenter thing is known for is he was able to create a suspense through the effects, great lighting, you know what I'm saying, and pretty much in the writing too, you know, and he was able to create that suspense through paranoia, mistrust, and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, and because of the poor CGI in the prequel, the paranoia and the suspense just wasn't there. And there was something that a YouTuber Lee Tower had brought up is that they could have he did a video about the comic book version of Who Goes There. And one thing that he mentioned about the prequel is that they could have created suspense by the fact that the Americans and the Norwegians couldn't like really communicate with each other because of the language barrier, and that's pretty much a good point in my opinion. They could have done that, but they didn't go that route for some reason. You know what I'm saying? So the lack of communication they didn't like explore at all, along with the CGI and the way they made it. This pretty much created this lack of suspense that's practically non-existent in the prequel and everything, and the paranoia just outright isn't there and everything. Now, it's kind of like I said earlier in the video, even though fans of John Carpenter's the thing wasn't asking for a prequel, it could have been a much better movie if they put more effort into like the suspense, the character development, and include certain things like in the Norwegians planting thermite charges to uncover the ship and not make the one. And then there's the other thing about the one guy who kills himself. That was a deleted scene. Why is that even a deleted scene in the first place? You know what I'm saying? When they could have easily included that in the theatrical release, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like I don't necessarily hate the film, but I am frustrated with the prequel because of a lot of the flaws that exist in the theme prequel could have been easily avoided, in my opinion. Now, with that being said, you can sound off in the comment section about the flaws that exist in the theme prequel. You know what I'm saying? Even though ones that didn't include for the sake of this video. You know what I'm saying? If you like this video, don't hesitate to click the thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification button. This is your boy Big Metroid Fan 12 signing off.